Welcome back to Quietly Secure. Over the past episodes, we've explored how the modern internet is built and operates, the infrastructure behind it, the economics that sustain it, the algorithms shaping attention, the data systems connecting platforms, the expansion of smart devices, and the rise of artificial intelligence. But there's another level that quietly influences all of this from the outside: law and regulation. Because while technology evolves quickly, the systems that govern it often move much more slowly. And the gap between innovation and regulation shapes much of the internet we use today. One of the defining features of the modern internet is speed. New platforms emerge rapidly, new tools spread globally in months, new behaviours form almost overnight. But legal systems were not designed for this pace. Most regulatory frameworks evolve through long processes: proposals, consultations, many revisions, debates, implementation, and enforcement. And by the time a law is fully in place, the technology it was designed to address may already have changed significantly. This creates a persistent imbalance: fast-moving systems on one side, slow-moving governance on the other. Regulating the internet is difficult for several reasons. First, it is global. A service hosted in one country may be used in hundreds of others. Different jurisdictions have different laws, expectations, and priorities. Second, technology is complex. Modern platforms are not simple systems. They involve infrastructure, algorithms, data flows, cloud services, and third-party integrations. And third, change is constant. Platforms update features continuously. New services emerge regularly. Old systems evolve or disappear. This makes it difficult for regulation to target specific behaviours without becoming outdated quickly. As a result, many laws focus on principles rather than precise technical details. One of the most significant areas of internet regulation is data privacy. Frameworks such as GDPR in Europe aim to give individuals more control over how their data is collected and used. These laws typically focus on concepts like consent, transparency, data access, data minimization, and user rights. In practice, this means companies are required to be clearer about what data they collect and why. Users may also gain rights to access, correct, or delete certain types of personal information. However, the implementation of these ideas varies widely across platforms and systems, because compliance is not just a legal challenge. It's also a technical one. One of the less obvious effects of regulation is that it influences how technology is built. When laws require consent, platforms introduce consent prompts. When transparency is required, privacy notices appear. When data access rights are mandated, systems are built to retrieve user information on request. Increasingly, regulation also influences how users prove their age or identity online. Some services now ask people to verify their age before accessing certain content. Others are exploring digital identity systems that could allow individuals to confirm who they are without repeatedly sharing the same personal information. These systems are still evolving, and some people see them as a way to improve security and reduce fraud. Others question how identity information should be stored, who should control it, and how privacy can be protected. This means regulation does not just control behaviour externally, it often shapes the internal design of systems themselves. Sometimes this leads to better transparency and control. Sometimes it leads to additional complexity that users rarely read or fully understand. But in all cases, regulation becomes part of the design environment. From the outside, people often expect major technological changes to be matched with equally fast regulatory responses. But in practice, change is usually incremental. New laws are introduced gradually. Court decisions refine interpretations over time, and companies adjust systems slowly to avoid disruption. International coordination takes years, yet entirely new areas of regulation continue to emerge. In the United Kingdom, recent years have seen increasing attention given to online safety, age assurance for younger users, and proposals for wider use of trusted digital identity. Some social media platforms are introducing stronger age verification measures. Governments are exploring how digital identity could make it easier for people to access services securely while reducing fraud. These developments reflect a broader shift. Regulation is no longer focused only on protecting personal data. It is increasingly concerned with verifying identity, protecting children online, and making digital services more accountable. Whether these approaches become long-term solutions remain to be seen. But they demonstrate how regulation continues to evolve alongside technology rather than remaining fixed. And because the internet is deeply interconnected, sudden regulatory shifts can have unintentional consequences, breaking services, disrupting communication, affecting global infrastructure. So in many cases, stability becomes a priority alongside control. This leads to a system where evolution is preferred over sudden transformation. At the centre of internet regulation is a constant tension. On one side, innovation, new tools, platforms, and capabilities. On the other side is control, privacy protection, security requirements, consumer rights, and safety regulations. Increasingly, this also includes age assurance and digital identity. Supporters argue these systems can reduce fraud, improve trust, and help protect children from harmful online content. Critics ask different questions. How much personal information should be required? Who stores it? Who has access to it? And how can convenience be balanced with privacy? These are not simple technical questions. They are social questions, legal questions, and increasingly ethical questions. Too little regulation can create risk. Too much can slow development or create barriers to innovation. So governments, companies, and institutions are constantly trying to find a balance, and that balance is not static. It shifts over time as technology, society, and expectations evolve. From a user perspective, internet regulation often feels invisible until something changes. A privacy update appears, a platform changes its policies, a new age verification process is introduced, or a service requires proof of identity. Certain features become unavailable in one country but remain available in another. behind those visible moments is a long process of negotiation between law, technology, industry, and public expectations. Because this process is slow and often fragmented, it can appear inconsistent from the outside. Yet every new regulation becomes another step in the continuing evolution of the internet. At the beginning of this episode, we explored why the internet changes faster than systems that regulate it. And the answer lies in the difference between technological speed and institutional pace. The internet evolves continuously, but regulation evolves through structure, deliberate processes designed to balance innovation, safety, privacy, and individual rights. As new technologies emerge, artificial intelligence, digital identity, age assurance, new forms of online communication, the conversation continues to evolve alongside them. The challenge is no longer simply building new technology. It is deciding how that technology should fit into society. And that is the question that cannot be answered by engineers alone. It involves lawmakers, businesses, researchers, and ultimately, all of us. Because while technology may move at internet speed, society usually chooses its direction one careful step at a time. Next time, we reach the final episode of this season, a reflection on everything we've explored so far, why no digital system will ever be perfectly private or perfectly secure, and how we live comfortably within an imperfect internet without losing clarity, control, or peace of mind. Thanks for listening, and in all this, stay calm and stay quietly secure.